Are we alone? This is a question that has intrigued humanity since time immemorial. For centuries, we have gazed upon the stars, pondering if we are alone in the universe. Ancient myth, modern sightings, and unexplained phenomena have all fueled the belief in extraterrestrial life. But how much truth lies in these stories? Have otherworldly visitors crossed the vast ocean of space to touch our world? And if so, have they left an indelible mark on human civilization? Join me as we embark on this interstellar journey beyond the stars to unravel the enigma of alien existence. This is Beyond the Stars, the alien truth that we seek. The claim as to whether we are alone in the universe is a debate that has spanned centuries. Humanity has always been intrigued by the marvels of human civilization and has claimed that non-Earthlings have aided the advancement of these civilizations. Many ancient theories have argued that extraterrestrials have greatly influenced the evolution of human civilization. For instance, the ancient astronaut or ancient aliens refer to a pseudoscientific set of beliefs which claims that intelligent extraterrestrial beings visited Earth and made contact with humans in prehistoric times. Proponents of this theory suggest that this contact influenced the development of modern cultures, technologies, religions, and human biology. Additionally, these proponents often claim that travelers from outer space built many of the structures on Earth, such as the Egyptian pyramids and the milestone head of Easter Island, or aided humans in building them. A common position which this theory holds is that deities from most, if not all religions, are extraterrestrial in origin, and that advanced technologies brought to Earth by ancient astronauts were interpreted as evidence of divine status by early humans. Erich von Däniken was a leading proponent of this hypothesis in the late 1960s and early 1970s, gaining a large audience through the 1968 publication of his best-selling book, Chariot of the Gods, and its sequels. According to von Däniken, some ancient artifacts like Stonehenge, Pumapunku, Easter Island's Mao statues, the Great Pyramid of Giza, and the ancient Baghdad batteries were too advanced for the civilization that made them. He suggested that these were either built by aliens or by humans who got help from aliens. He also claims that ancient art and symbols from around the world show things like spacecraft, intelligent beings that are not humans, ancient astronauts, and highly advanced technology that seems not to belong to that period in time. Von Däniken's hypotheses were greatly criticized, as many critics argued that he misinterpreted data and that most of his claims were unfounded, with no validation of any of his core claims. Zecharia Sitchin has also been a major proponent of the ancient astronaut theory. He hypothesizes that the gods of old Mesopotamia were astronauts from the planet Nibiru, which the Sumerians believed to be a remote dwarf planet associated with the god Marduk. Sitchin argues that there are Sumerian texts that tell the stories that 50 Anunnaki, inhabitants of a planet named Nibiru, came to Earth approximately 400 years ago with the intent of mining raw materials, especially gold, for transport back to Nibiru. With their small numbers, they soon grew tired of the tax and decided to genetically engineer workers to work in the mines. After much trial and error, they eventually created Homo sapiens sapiens, the Adapa, or the modern man. Sitchin contended that the Anunnaki were active in human affairs until their culture was destroyed by global catastrophes caused by the abrupt end of the last ice age about 12,000 years ago. Seeing that humans survived and all they had built was destroyed, the Anunnaki left Earth after giving humans the opportunity and means to govern themselves. Sitchin's claims have been roundly criticized by professionals who have revealed his hypothesis. Some of those who have criticized Sitchin's claims is Michael S. Heiser, a Semitic languages scholar. He claims that many of Sitchin's translations of Sumerian and Mesopotamian words are not consistent with Mesopotamian cuneiform bilingual dictionaries produced by ancient Akkadian scribes. Many ancient astronaut proponents emerged in the latter half of the 20th century, with many receiving huge criticisms and public backlash. A renowned archaeologist, Sarah Koenig, during her 2020 TEDx presentation on pseudo-archaeology, illustrated that the belief of aliens aiding or building landmark structures on Earth is a misconception to perpetuate racism and xenophobic notion towards history and culture.
Things like aliens built the pyramids, or survivors from the lost continent of Atlantis invented hieroglyphic writing. Now, most of us know that claims like these are unfounded and frankly absurd, yet they're everywhere. They're on TV shows, in movies, and in books. Eric von Daniken's classic book, Chariots of the Gods. Here's the crucial question. Who cares? It's just entertainment, right? Isn't it a nice escape from reality and a fun way to think about the world? It's not. Most pseudo-archaeology is racist and xenophobic, and like other forms of entertainment, it influences our culture in real ways.
But apart from the ancient astronaut theories, there are incidents that spark the conspiracy theories about the existence of extraterrestrial life. An example of these incidents is the Roswell incident. New Mexico became the center of a conspiracy theory involving UFOs and extraterrestrials. The Roswell Army Airfield announced the capture of a flying saucer near Roswell, New Mexico. This claim was quickly retracted when the military stating the debris was from a weather balloon, part of a top-secret Project Mongol aimed at detecting Soviet nuclear tests. However, the incident fueled widespread speculation and conspiracy theories, particularly after retired Air Force officer Jerzy Marcel suggested in 1978 that the debris was extraterrestrial and the military explanation was a cover-up. This claim laid the groundwork for numerous UFO conspiracy theories, including government concealment of extraterrestrial beings and technology. Another incident that sparked numerous conspiracy theories is the Phoenix Light, which were widely cited unidentified flying objects that were observed in the skies over the U.S. cities of Arizona and Nevada on March 13, 1997. Lights of varying descriptions were seen between 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. in a space of about 300 miles from the Nevada line through Phoenix to the edge of Tucson. Some witnesses described seeing what appeared to be a huge Carpenter squared-shaped UFO containing 5 spherical lights. There were 2 distinct events involved in the incident: a triangular formation of light seen to pass over the state, and a series of stationary lights seen in the Phoenix area. Both sightings were said to be aircraft participating in Operation Snowbird, a pilot training program of the Air National Guard based in Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona. The first group of lights were identified as a formation of A-10 Thunderbolt II aircraft flying over Phoenix while returning to Davis-Monthan. The second group of lights were identified as illumination flares dropped by another flight of A-10 aircraft that were seen on training exercises at the Barry Goldwater Range in southwest Arizona. Fife Symington, governor of Arizona at the time, years later recounted witnessing the incident, describing it as otherworldly. And this is what he said: "I am a pilot, and I know just about every machine that flies. It was bigger than anything I've ever seen. It remains a great mystery. Other people saw it. Responsible people. I don't know why people would ridicule it," he said. On June 25, 2021, the Pentagon UFO report, a 9-page preliminary assessment, was issued by the Office of the Director of Intelligence. The report states that the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force focused on 144 observations of unidentified aerial phenomenon by the United States Army forces, mostly from the U.S. Navy personnel, from 2004 to 2021. No details are given in the preliminary assessment. The report found that the task force was unable to identify causes of the observations found in 143 reports. One object that was able to be identified with high confidence was a large deflecting balloon. It asserted 18 of these incidents featured unusual flight characteristics. These UAP appeared to remain stationary in wind aloft, moved against the wind, maneuver abruptly, or move at considerable speed without discernible means of propulsion. Some of them, the report says, released radio frequency energy that was picked up and processed by the United States military aircraft, with further analysis needed to be determined if those sightings represented breakthrough technology. The report said that some of these steps are resource intensive and will require additional investments. It did not link the sightings to extraterrestrial life, with officials saying, "We have no clear indications that there is any non-terrestrial explanation for them, but we will go wherever the data takes us." Further on the alien phenomenon, a U.S. congressional panel heard testimonies from 2 former U.S. servicemen who explained what they encountered while flying the skies of the United States. And this is what they had to say. One witness was David Charles Grunge, a former U.S. Air Force intelligence officer and whistleblower who recently went public with claims that the American military may be attempting to reverse engineer recovered craft of no known earthly origin.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it. I made the decision, based on the data I collected, to report this information to my superiors and multiple inspectors general, and in effect becoming a whistleblower.
Another retired U.S. Navy commander, David Fravor, gave a detailed account of an encounter he and other pilots had with a UAP over the Persian Gulf in 2004.
The controller told us that these objects had been observed for over 2 weeks, coming down from over 80,000 feet, rapidly descending to 20,000 feet, hanging out for hours, and then going straight back up. For those who don't realize, above 80,000 feet is space. We arrived at the location at approximately 20,000 feet, and the controller called merge plot, which means that our radar blip was now in the same resolution cell as the contact. As we looked around, we noticed that we saw some whitewater off our right side. It's important to note that the weather on this day was as close to perfect as you could ask for off the coast of San Diego. Clear skies, light winds, calm seas, no whitecaps from waves. So the whitewater stood out in a large blue ocean. All four of us, because we were in F-18Fs, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat, looked down and saw a white tic-tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water like a ping pong ball. There were no rotors, no rotor wash, or any sign of visible control surfaces like wings. As we started clockwise towards the object, my Wizzo and I decided to go down and take a closer look with the other aircraft staying in high cover to observe both us and the tic-tac. We proceeded around the circle about 90 degrees from the start of our descent, and the object suddenly shifted its longitudinal axis, aligned it with my aircraft, and began to climb. We continued.
It appears that the United States is not the only grounds for modern alien sightings. In 2023, Mexican legislators heard testimonies regarding the possibility that extraterrestrials might exist and were presented with the alleged remains of non-human beings in an extraordinary hearing marking the country's first congressional event on aliens and UFOs. In the hearing, Mexican politicians were shown two artifacts that a Mexican journalist and longtime UFO enthusiast, Jamin Maussan, claimed were the remains of extraterrestrials. The two tiny bodies displayed in cases had 3 fingers on each hand and elongated head. Maussan said they were recovered in Peru near the ancient Nazca lines in 2017. He said that they were about 1,000 years old, according to carbon dating analysis by Mexico's National Autonomous University. The remains were not related to any life on Earth, Maussan said. I think there is a clear demonstration that we are dealing with a non-human specimen that are not related to any other species in our world, and that all possibilities are open for any scientific institution to investigate it, Maussan said. Area 51 became forever associated with aliens in 1989 after a man claiming to have worked there, Robert Lazar, gave an interview with the Las Vegas news station. Lazar claimed that Area 51 housed and studied alien spacecraft and that his job was to recreate the technology for military use. However, Lazar's credentials were soon discredited. According to school records, Lazar never went to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology or Californian Institute of Technology, as he claimed. At that time, though, engineers at Area 51 were studying and recreating advanced aircraft, just aircraft acquired from other countries, not from outer space. Lazar's claim and many more conspiracy theories have sparked curiosity in the minds of many as to the nature of place Area 51 is. But the US Pentagon has always refuted claims that the US has reverse-engineered alien spacecraft or hidden extraterrestrial material. Discovering extraterrestrial life would be one of the most significant events in human history, altering our understanding of biology, ethics, philosophy, and our place in the universe, and could lead to major advancements in these fields as well as international collaboration. However, it could trigger conflicts on how to communicate with, study, and exploit these new life forms. Before closing, let me leave you with these 2 questions. How might our daily lives change if we find out that we are not alone in the universe? Should we actively seek contact with extraterrestrial civilization? Or would it be safe to to observe quietly. Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification so that you won't miss out on our next intriguing video. Until next time, it's your boy Van Tomaski logging out. Take care and see you in the next video.